everyone, today it's first impressions and a first wearing of a brand new fragrance, and it's called Cassili by Parfums De Marly. I am in possession of a 10ml decant that I purchased from a split on a Facebook group. Thank you, Reese, for sorting that out, much appreciated. I have already tested it very briefly this morning before my shower. I was just wearing it for an hour and I have already formed some opinions, but I'm going to spray it on now whilst I'm talking to you. Cat's on the floor just down there. Sweetie, come and look, say hi. She's not interested. So here we go. Now these plastic atomizers, they spray a ton, an absolute ton out, and I'm going to do both wrists off camera. I'll do one spray on each wrist and that should be quite enough, I think. So first impressions, it's kind of, I did expect it. Sorry about the horrendous children that live near here screaming and crying. First impressions, it is kind of how I expected it. I knew it was going to be mass appealing. I have smelt Delina by Parfums De Marly before, and that had a similar feel, very much almost like a designer fragrance, but a very, very pleasing, nice designer fragrance, however very mass appealing. And I read the notes of this. I can't remember the notes off the top of my head, I'll check those out in just a mo, but I read the notes and every single note sounded so beautiful. I thought I would just give it a go and see if this could be the one that I fall for. I love the bottles. Parfums De Marly female bottles are stunning, absolutely beautiful. I'm kind of thinking it would be nice to fall in love with one so I could justify buying a full bottle. So on first impressions, I noticed peach, and I'm fairly confident that I remember peach being in the notes, because that was the one thing I was slightly concerned about. Peach is one of my less favourite notes, but can be done very, very beautifully. In Francesca Bianchi's The Lover's Tale, that has peach in it and it is beautiful. It's like smelling peach skin. It's kind of like a combination of fuzzy peach skin with iris and suede, and it is absolutely stunning, out of this world stunning. This is more like the peach that you get in your everyday designer female fragrance, to be honest. Not that it's overtly sickly or sweet, it's not putting me off, it's not making me dislike the fragrance like it could potentially do, but it is definitely making itself known. It's kind of like a peach juice that's had some of the sweetness taken out, so it's not a really sweet peachiness, it is definitely peachy. And I can smell hints of vanilla and caramel, and they're very subtle. It's extremely sophisticated. It's kind of like Jimmy Choo, the original Jimmy Choo for ladies. It's like that, but it's been toned down and it's had some elocution lessons, and it's been made perfect for the upper classes. It's like it's toned down, sophisticated, elegant, but does share quite a few similarities with that Jimmy Choo. But Jimmy Choo's much louder, and this definitely has a very subtle feel about it. It is very sophisticated and elegant, and it's not in your face, and it's not jumping even after just 10 minutes on my skin. The sillage is quite, well, not the sillage, the projection isn't mega strong. However, I showered and it was still noticeable on my skin, so it definitely does have some tenacity in that respect. So let's talk a bit more about how it smells, and then I'm going to go about my day and give you a few updates. So peachy, slightly vanillic, slightly caramelly. I feel like there's some, I'm not sure if there's blackcurrant or something else that's a bit fruity in not a citrus way. It does feel like it could be blackcurrant or red berries, or maybe, I think there might be lychee. I think that's also in Jimmy Choo. I'm not sure. Something like that. It smells pink. It's a fruity floral with a bit of a gourmand edge, but very sophisticated and subtle. I'll leave it there for now. You know I'm going to come back. I've just sprayed my wrists, and so I'm back. I've only been away for 2 minutes. I sprayed my wrists and it reminded me of something else that I've noticed about the fragrance in the opening. There is something a little bit sharp, and it reminds me a little bit of hairspray. I know that sounds a bit horrible, but it does remind me of when my mum used to spray her hair every day when I was little, and I'd sit there and watch her getting ready. And it's just like this sharp, it could almost be an aldehyde type thing. Something sharp, maybe even slightly fizzy. Not entirely unpleasant, but at the same time maybe a bit too sharp for my nose to enjoy. But it doesn't seem to hang around too long, because earlier I felt that it did subside fairly quickly, but I just wanted to get that in. Okay, so I'm back from my little shop. So I walked to the shop, bought some stuff, and that was around about, well, it's been about half an hour, 40 minutes on my skin now, and I thought I would just give you a little bit of an update. I'm getting a little bit of sillage as I walk around. It's very subtle. As I was walking sort of towards the breeze, I could smell nothing, but if I caught the breeze on a different angle, it was picking the fragrance up and I was able to smell it. But it is definitely very subtle. It is not one to announce your presence in the room, far from it. To me, this fragrance is very feminine. It is very girl next door. It's innocent and understated, and development wise it's changed slightly. I've completely lost that hairspray note now, thank God. That's gone. It smells pink. Pick out the vanilla. I've got the notes here for you actually. So the notes are red currant, rose, floral notes, plum, mimosa, frangipani, petalia. So I had to look up petalia, and I've discovered that it's either a butterfly or moth or part of the human brain. So I'm not picking out anything brain-like, so perhaps it's a moth. Sandalwood, tonka and vanilla in the base. I said earlier that I smell peach and I smell caramel, and I still stand by that. I smell something that's slightly peachy, pink fruit. So it's red currant is mentioned here. I can see red currant, but it could, to me it could be, as I said earlier, it could be a combination of lychee or something pink and juicy, but none of these notes really jump out. It's just a combination of all of them together, very much moulded and melded together to give you a bit of a skin scent that's very pretty and very innocent and very girl next door. Not picking out sandalwood as yet, although there is a creaminess that potentially could be coming from the sandalwood, I'm not sure. But for now, I have to say I'm underwhelmed. This could be perfect for someone who mostly wears designer fragrances and just wants something to up their game on a special evening. Although, to be fair, I wouldn't really wear this on an evening out because it's not a big projector, it's quite subtle. But it could be a nice sort of lunchtime date with your beloved kind of fragrance, or a fragrance you can wear where you feel, you know that you smell really good if someone gets close enough to smell you. And it's very clean. It's clean and it's not challenging at all. So we're now 3 hours in, and what else can I tell you? I actually felt like the fragrance warmed up a little bit and intensified a little bit, which I'm surprised at because it really felt like it was one of these fragrances that was fading quite fast. I feel like there's a hint of that sandalwood coming through. It's just a subtle, smooth hint of woods, but that is not very strong. There's also some generic, clean, white muskiness going on in here. I don't mind that in fragrances, but I know some people really don't like that. It still feels quite peachy, but it feels like the red berries amped up a little bit more. I sat in the sun for maybe half an hour or so, and it's not mega hot sun, it's sun coming through misty clouds on a coolish spring day, just to be very specific. But I felt like the fragrance did warm up a little bit on me. Now though, feels a bit flat. You have to really get, sorry, itchy nose. You have to get really close. You have to get up really, really close to actually smell it. So it's basically a bit of a skin scent now. I think that I'm done in talking about this fragrance. Coming away from the window because my neighbours just pulled up and I'm just feeling a bit embarrassed. Yeah, I'm done with this now. I've got to get ready to go to work. This is just a skin scent and this is not enough for me. It's not pleasing enough or loud enough to get me through a 12-hour night shift. I do have to put on something a little more exciting. Now, I cannot find out who the perfumer is, and that disturbs me because, get closer to the window, the lighting's a touch more flattering because I'm not vain, not really. I cannot find out who the perfumer is here. I checked Fragrantica, Base Notes, Parfums De Marly website. It's not available, that information is not available. I don't like that. That's just personal preference, but for me a fragrance is art, and I think the name of the artist should be proudly displayed. Just saying. It feels like this is a focus group project. Sorry, but it feels so mass appealing that I can't imagine anyone had some exciting concept or inspiration here. It just feels like they've tried to create something that's very, very pleasant, and they have. They absolutely have. But this, when you are paying niche prices, now these fragrances are they're just under £200 for a 75ml bottle. When you're paying that sort of money, I do expect a little bit more. I want the artist's name, and I kind of like to have a little bit of information about the backstory. But yeah, it just feels like a focus group led effort of creating something that females aged 20 to 35 might like to smell nice and clean and pretty and understated and sophisticated. And it does all of that. So we'll leave that there, I think. Thank you for watching.